Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to the General Hospital April 20th through 23rd and Flashback Friday 24th recap.
Lots of flashbacks this week.
Lots of flashbacks. And just a heads up, Amanda and I are recording not looking at each other face to face. So we're using a different program, seeing if it might be better. So this is weird.
It is weird. I'm at least used to seeing your smiling face as we're talking, and now it's like just lines across the screen.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Yeah.
But one thing I wanted to talk about before we really dove in was our book club meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So as we've talked about before, both of us have read or are reading Maurice Benard's Nothing General About It, and we are hosting a book club discussion on Facebook. So if you just go on Facebook and look for General Hospital Fan Book Club, or if you're on our Pier 54, a General Hospital Fan podcast page, you can look under community and you'll see it there. We will be meeting next Sunday, May 3rd at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so we will have a link for all of us to virtually meet and talk about the show, or the book, rather.
I'm excited. I can't wait to hear what everyone thought of it.
Me too. I just finished it this week. Have you finished it?
I have not finished it yet.
Okay.
So don't spoil it for me.
Have you started it?
Yes, I started it.
Okay. Then we're halfway there.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into this week's episodes. Where do you want to start?
I have random notes for this week because, again, there was a lot of flashbacks and a lot of... I felt like they did a good job of just keeping the story moving along for when we do get real episodes back, but they must have had to put so many flashbacks in that it kind of moved really slow. So
I'm going to keep track of how many times you say that.
What?
They did a lot to just keep the story on track.
Oh, yeah. I feel like that's a lot of weeks that's how it keeps going. So I don't know. Do you want to start with like the big thing of the week, or are we just dabbling in the little stuff first?
What are you considering the big thing for the week?
That Holly died.
Yeah, okay. What? Okay, so with that, we have decided to change our Port Charles 411 for this upcoming Thursday. And we will be talking about Ned and Alexis and Jax and Chloe at a further date. You know, those stories are done. They're 20 years old. We're good. A lot of people probably have no clue who Holly is. So we are going to be talking about Holly on this Thursday's Port Charles 411.
I'm excited to hear about her past stuff that I had not focused on as much before whenever I had made the comment that I didn't really like her. And then a lot of people disagreed with me and said how wonderful she is. So I can't wait to hear all about her to understand why she was so wonderful.
See, I just like Emma Samms, so I feel like I was predisposed to already like her.
I mean, I like the actress. It's nothing personal against her. I just feel like the majority of the stuff that I paid attention to, or that, I remember, was the stuff of her trying to break people up and just cause trouble. I don't remember any wonderful love stories because that was back before our time.
And I can understand that because there are definitely people there's probably a lot of characters that are the same way.
Right.
So if they only knew Carly from when she was trying to break up Tony and Bobby.
Exactly.
Might not exactly like her right now.
Mm-hmm.
Without knowing everything else. So, yeah, I'm excited for you. I mean, he has crossed a line. I mean, Peter is the he that I am referring to. There's no coming back from this one.
No, there's really not. And Holly had nothing to do with him. It wasn't like she was trying to interfere with whatever he's trying to cover up. For once, she was a totally innocent bystander, and he's messing with her just because of Robert.
So do you think that she is actually dead?
No. Or
Neither
if
do I.
so, we're not going to have a body.
Because it was a distraction. So, I mean, anyone can make that phone call just to put him on a wild goose chase.
Right, because Robert had no idea who it was that was calling him.
Right. And he's like, yeah, that Robert Scorpio.
Exactly. I feel like even though he isn't in the WSB the way that he used to be in the WSB, he still knows everyone. So if they were calling him to let him know that news, they would know instantly that that was Robert by his voice, and he would know instantly whatever agent was calling him. So that whole
Right.
conversation, I feel like it was just someone to distract him, like they said.
Let's hope so, because especially where I don't like when they kill characters off screen for no reason. I mean, we talked about last week with, Lady Jane and John Jacks that the actors in real life passed away, so therefore they killed the characters off screen.
Hmm.
But for someone like this, there's absolutely no need to randomly kill Holly unless Holly's coming back.
Right. No, I don't think that they'll show us that she's passed away just because then they can't bring her back. And she
I am glad
has,
that nothing happened to Robin or the kids, though, because that's
right.
actually where I thought it was going.
Yes. I don't think that Peter would have done that to Robin though because he has that connection with her.
True, very true.
Holly's just some lady he knows Robert cares about.
And that would also really affect Maxie because it's Robin.
Exactly.
Very true.
So maybe he
Quick
put a little
question.
bit of thought into what a jerk he was going to be.
So, the other big thing that I thought you were going to possibly talk about was the Chase Sasha stuff.
I was disappointed with that. You're right, it's a big storyline, so I guess I shouldn't have downplayed it, but I was disappointed.
I just don't understand how Willow is falling for it when not even an half hour to an hour beforehand, she and Chase were having that amazing talk. They have never fought. And to go from that to this,
Hmm.
he has never spoken unkindly to her at all.
And I think that she even asked him, like, whoa, what was that? Whenever he kissed her goodbye in the park. So to not understand that that was an actual kiss goodbye whenever she walked in on him and Sasha together because he was doing that for her benefit, I just don't think she's that dumb. And then Michael shows up later and is all angry. He's not that dumb either.
I can understand it more from his remembering things from Sasha and things that Sasha said to
Well, yeah,
interpreting it that she might be looking or be not might not be as invested as he is, but absolutely no way. There's nothing for Willow to look at and say, "Oh, that makes sense now."
right. There's nothing for Willow to say that makes sense now. And even saying that Sasha was going to go see someone else, because you're right, she didn't seem as invested in the relationship, or I think she's trying not to be as invested in the relationship as Chase and Willow were in their relationship. There's how many other guys in Port Charles? Why would she go right for him?
Well, I think she is definitely still, I think she's as invested as, I think that both couples are as invested with each other as the other is. But I think that she was trying not to come between making Michael choose between her and his son.
I think she's a little more guarded with how she talks about her feelings.
I can see that.
Willow and Chase are both, oh my gosh, I love you, I love her, like tell the whole world how happy we are. And both Michael and Sasha are more reserved in how they talk about anything. So especially whenever they're talking about each other or to each other, they just don't come across quite as lovey-dovey as Chase and Willow do.
Yeah. They've had a lot of stuff though.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they're wrong, they just show their emotion differently.
Yeah. And that's okay.
But yeah, I just found the whole thing totally unbelievable.
Yeah. It
And even, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Even if they were going to be together, you don't think they would do it at a hotel or in a different town or something? He's really inviting Sasha over to hook up with him right before Willow's going to come over or come home for that bottle of wine.
well, and why did Sasha go in the back? Why didn't she walk out the door?
I think she knew she wanted to talk to Chase more after it
Well,
happened.
yeah, but I mean, it would have been more, I don't know. It was just, that was weird to me. She could have come back, but it was really weird to watch her go to the back of the apartment instead of out the door that was right there.
You don't think if you were in that situation, you would just go to the back, like finish having your fight so then I can continue hooking up with your man?
I don't know. I've never been in that. I've never I've never been the Sasha in that experience, but I have been the Willow.
Oh, yeah.
Although I do have to say, Josh Swickard was amazing this week because you could just see, like, looking over Willow's shoulder or when he was turned away from Michael, he's trying so hard to not lose it,
Mhm.
you
No, he
know.
played those scenes perfectly. He was mean enough, like the way he was delivering the lines was mean enough, but at the same time you could still see the hurt in his eyes.
Yep. Oh, and he had a tear.
Oh my gosh.
Just wanted
You
to
didn't
hug
cry,
him.
did you?
Okay, this week
Oh,
was really difficult. Oh, there were a lot of things happening this week that were very emotional.
okay. I
But
could
that's really
see,
all that I have to say about that whole thing. It's just ugh.
yeah, I think the whole thing was frustrating. So I could see if you said you cried over the Mike stuff, because that was sad, but crying over Willow and Chase, no.
But that's what I'm saying is that had me already set up and
Oh,
in
okay.
that spot to be crying.
Okay.
So had that happened by itself, probably not. But I also did not watch any shows until Friday morning. So I watched all four together.
I did that yesterday.
So I never had the break.
Mhm.
It wasn't, oh, I can move over here. It was, no, let's just keep going back and forth between.
Amanda, guess what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time for me to pick out my FabFitFun selections.
Oh my gosh, you were so excited with the last box. What are you going to get this time?
I love FabFitFun. Seriously, I've been using it for over a year, and at first I was like, do I really want to, spend money on that? Yes.
I know how
You
excited
get
you
over
were.
$200 worth of products for only $49.99, and it's once a quarter.
That's not bad at all.
No, not at all. One of the items that I'm getting in my spring box is a light therapy anti-wrinkle light that
Ooh.
I've seen them listed other places for well over $100, and that's going to be
awesome.
included in my box. They also have robes, different lotions, sprays. There's a really cute umbrella on there. Tons of things for you to pick out.
You're making me want one.
You could go to our website, pure54podcast.com, and just go under the savings tab and click the get offer button under the FabFitFun. Make sure to use promo code Rainbow and you get $10 off your first box. That's a deal. It's amazing. So go check out our website, pure54podcast.com, and make sure to use promo code Rainbow for $10 off your first box. And you're going to love it.
Oh, Mike.
I'm not ready.
No, and you know that it's happening. Although I love Brooklyn and I hope that it happens where she gets to sing a last song with him at the nurse's ball.
Yes, that would be amazing.
I think that would be such a good ending for him. Oh, and Sunny just trying to hold on.
I liked that Elizabeth was the one that mentioned the do not resuscitate.
And the palliative care.
Mm-hmm.
They're really covering all of their bases with this, and she cleared up a common stereotype, or the misconception when
Of
she was
what?
talking about how it doesn't mean that they're basically just going to let him die, or
Oh,
that,
right.
when Sonny said, or what life he has left, or he said something to that effect, and she was like, actually, XYZ.
Yeah.
I like when they do things like that. That's nice.
Right. No, it helps to have all the information. But I liked that it was Elizabeth because you knew that she cared about Sunny and Mike, but she wasn't too close to the situation to be irrational. Those were her
Hmm.
honest medical thoughts. And Jason stood up for her and said, she's one of the best nurses I know. If that's what she's telling you, maybe it's time to think about that.
Yeah. I did like Jason standing up to Carly about Sonny's orders and understanding, yeah, I probably really should go to this meeting, but we both know that when Sonny's in this state, the worst thing for me to do is something he told me not to.
Right. How about them with baby Donna?
So cute.
I just wanted to pick her right out of my TV screen and snuggle her. She's so cute.
I wanted to rub a balloon on her head and stick it to the wall.
Okay.
She had that static electricity hair. It was adorable.
Oh, you're funny.
Have you never done that?
Not when they were that little. When they were like toddlers and they would laugh at it.
They laugh when you laugh.
I guess. I just never tried it that young.
Well, have another baby and we'll go for it.
All right, I'll get right on that.
Have a baby just for that reason alone.
Just for that reason.
I loved everything with Valentine this week.
Yes. Thank God Charlotte finally called him out.
Oh, she was on a roll though. She called out all the adults on their crap this week.
She
Nicholas,
did.
or maybe we thought we had a bodyguard.
Mm-hmm.
And even Lulu on You Think I Can't Hear You. But
Yes, yes. I like how Laura went off on Lulu also.
yeah, but here's the thing. We are how many years too late for this conversation?
True, but better late than never.
True, but Valentine has not changed one bit. He has been that way with Charlotte from day one, even when it came to co-parenting with Lulu.
I don't think Lulu was as bad back then as she is now. I think when she first started throwing her hissy fits about him, there truly was a concern of, obviously he didn't tell me I had this kid for how long, and then he's trying to keep her away because he was very guarded with letting them start to establish a relationship and everything. So I could see her being upset thinking that he didn't have Charlotte's best interest at heart back then. But now you can't argue with the fact that he is all about taking care of that kid and making sure that she's as okay as possible. And Lulu's just being a jerk because she's letting it get personal between the two of them instead of putting Charlotte first.
Oh, absolutely. When she said, but that's not best for me. And
Right.
I was just like, and this isn't like when we can't leave work early to, okay, this is a bad example at this time, but like when my ex and I first separated and, I was working in an office that if he said I have to drop the kids off at 4 and I don't get done at 5, well, that does not work for me because that's kind of a legit reason,
Exactly.
but just in general, her having a relationship with her father,
Right.
I would never take that away from my kids.
Exactly. And Charlotte is getting old enough that she's seeing people's true colors. So she needs to start making those decisions on her own. If she saw something in her dad that was so awful that she didn't want to be around him, then she would start saying that. She wants to see him. She wants to hang out with him. You see how excited she is every time that he walks into the room. How could you think of taking that away from your daughter?
Do you think that Lulu knew Charlotte was involved with a snake and that's why she left Valentine? Because I feel like she might have seen him look at her like, oh, really?
Yes, I think she did pick up on the look between the two of them. Like maybe
Okay.
there's some more information that she doesn't know, which was good to let him handle it because she didn't know.
That was a really good co-parenting moment. I was really happy about it. And
Yeah,
then she kept talking.
exactly, exactly. Sometimes you just need to drop it and move on, Lulu, but she never lets things end that easy.
I want them to get back to writing her how they were about a month and a half ago when they were really starting to have her kind of come around. Or how she even mentioned, yeah, I gave Maxie my blessing for her to work with Valentine. The look of shock on Laura's face was like, you did what?
Right, exactly. And then she said, well, Maxie would have found a way to justify it anyway. Maxie doesn't need to justify anything to you. It's her job and her life.
Yeah, it's not like she went to Valentine looking for a job or interviewed with Valentine. Yeah.
Hmm. They need to get back to writing her as a normal person, not so selfish.
Right, because she used to not be this way.
Right. And she really is just getting too old for it. Those are characteristics of a younger person that hasn't experienced life as much. She has 2 kids, she's gone through a divorce, As much as we question how she got her job, she has a real job. I mean, she's had enough of life experience and mom experience to just be better to everyone than what she
Right.
is right now.
Although her interviewing Cyrus, she seemed to kind of be flirty with him, and it was really weird.
Maybe she likes flirting with danger.
Ooh. Or do you think she was just maybe being so kind just to get him to open up?
Yes, I think she didn't want to go in there acting as if she believed all of the bad things and being a jerk, because then what type of interview would she get with him? He'd be shut down automatically.
And do you think he really didn't know whose daughter she was
No,
or whose former daughter-in-law she is?
no,
I was like, dude, you knew who Julian was when you walked in his bar. You're not going to vet the person that's interviewing you?
exactly. No, I think he was just letting them believe that he wasn't as good as he is. I don't know why he's staying in Port Charles, though. He could move products through there without actually being there.
I told you, I think Dustin's his son.
Well, I hope that that's true.
And that's probably why he was very friendly with Lulu, because that's his son's love.
Oh, maybe. See, I didn't take it that extra step.
I bet that's it.
That would be good. Speaking of love interest type stories, what the heck was with Molly being so crappy to Brando?
Right, he didn't know that those were her sisters. By the way, Christina's back.
Yes,
Yay!
yes. I
And
wanted.
thank God Julian gave her a raise. Maybe she won't be gone for 6 months.
Yes, exactly. But I don't like that Sam said she got the raise because of what he did to Alexis. That's not true.
Right.
I really don't. I don't think one has anything to do with the other. He's kept those relationships separate this entire time. I don't think it has anything to do with it. I think he finally just realized she's a good bartender, manager, whatever her title is now.
Well, she's supposed to be the manager that's just never there.
Oh, okay. Well, she has really good managing skills then. She doesn't even need to be on site ever.
A good manager hires the right people.
Exactly. So, but
So
yeah,
Julian,
Molly was
therefore, is also a good manager.
what?
I said, therefore, Julian is also a good manager. He's a good
Yes,
business owner because he's put the right people in charge
right.
that he doesn't have to micromanage.
I would hang out at Charlie's if it was a real
I
place.
sure would. Yeah.
Um, Anyway, yeah, I can't believe that Molly was so crappy. How was he supposed to know those were her sisters? He went there to get food. It wasn't like he was stalking someone. And he had a normal conversation with them that you would when you're waiting for your food. And she doesn't know any of that anyway because she wasn't even in the bar. They could have been talking about the weather.
Right? Or the fact that this man was at a bar and her sister works there.
Right.
Maybe she was doing her job.
Exactly. And she has no reason to be crappy with Brando no matter what. He didn't do anything wrong. She's the one that had a boyfriend, not him.
Yeah. He really did a good job apologizing appropriately for being so careless. I don't want to say he was callous because he definitely just said a very common, can you believe how people join cults? Blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But he was like, I didn't know. But he knew Sam, but he didn't know about Christina, which I'm kind of. How much does Molly talk about them? Oh no, I guess he would have heard about Sam through Jason, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. But he seemed to understand who Sam was, but not Christina.
Right, I feel like he should have known who Christina was even more because Sonny should have talked about her.
Yeah.
But I guess he didn't. I don't know. But yeah, he did a really good job of apologizing to her without being fake.
Oh yeah, it was absolutely sincere.
Hmm.
Sonny's house got a makeover.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I did like when he walked in and looked around like, what? Where am I?
At least they brought it up. It wasn't like the Quartermains that took how long to even acknowledge the fact something had changed.
Right?
I didn't like it. That's just my personal opinion, obviously, but it felt too upscale.
Yeah, I loved the look of the old wood and like the dark wood and everything.
If the old one felt homey to me, like you could snuggle up in front of that fireplace and you could picture the kids playing in the living room and running around and stuff. That new one, it just feels like put stuff on the mantle and that's it. Don't touch anything.
Right. You're not allowed to sit here.
Right, exactly. It's a living room for show, not a living room to live in.
How cute was Joss talking to Michael, though, and telling him how he's the worst of all of them?
Yes. She was right, though.
Okay, was that not the same blueberry with a protein boost shake or smoothie that Jax gives Carly?
Oh, it might have been.
I think he's given that to her before.
Oh, that would be cute.
Because then Michael said something about seaweed, and I'm like, yep, I believe that Carly said the same thing.
Yeah, now that you say that, I 100% agree. I did not make the connection when I was watching it. That's cute. That was a nice attention to detail they did there.
Yeah. See, sometimes they kill it with continuity, and sometimes they're just like, I don't know what show I'm watching.
I felt like that when they said that Neil lost his license. When did that happen?
Right.
He
I don't
just
know.
got it back. I understand why it happened after the blow up at the hospital, but we never heard anything about it might come into question again until he said, oh no, he lost his privileges. He lost his license.
Right. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't really have anything else about the new episodes this week.
No, me neither. That was it. We ran through all of it. I liked the week though. I felt like it was a better week than what we had been getting.
It
The
was a very
flashbacks
good
made
week.
sense.
Yes.
And they didn't overwhelm the whole episode. It was just enough information. It felt like an appropriate flashback to something you would think about.
So, do we want to talk about Flashback Friday now?
Sure.
I loved that episode.
Yes, I loved it the first time that we saw it. The acting in it was just amazing. And it's adorable that Sonny's real life son, well, Maurice's real life son, was playing his younger version.
Hold on one second. I meant to look up when it originally aired. Did you happen to write that down?
I didn't. I'm sorry. I did last week, and then this week I forgot.
So the episode originally aired on November 12th, 2018, and it was an episode to highlight or to honor Maurice Bernard's 25th anniversary.
I can't believe it's been that long.
It's been longer now.
I know, but I can't believe it's been that long. I refuse to accept that.
But you're right. I mean, so, and I think we talked about this because it was before we started our podcast, but remember when they first showed it and I texted you, I was like, that's really his son. Because I had to look it up. I was like, that kid looks a lot like him. But did you know, and I am going to give a little spoiler from the book, but the pictures on the mantle were also his daughters.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
The
cute.
picture, there was one picture of one girl by herself and then a picture of two girls kind of standing side by side. Those are his daughters.
Oh, okay.
And it was Cassidy and Kaylee. I don't think there was one of Heather. Oh no, I'm sorry. My daughter Heather was sitting on a bar stool in one scene, and Kaylee and Cassidy's pictures were framed on Sonny's mantle as his children in his alternate life. And Paula, Cassidy, and my parents were all watching from behind the camera, and I felt so blessed.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is so amazing. I love that.
I didn't realize when they were showing the pictures on the mantle, I didn't count how many kids he said that he had. So I wasn't paying attention to if it matched up in real life.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, because I think that he would have said 3, 2 girls and a boy, but then Heather was on the bar stool, Dante's the boy, and Josh was acting as him, so he probably would not have counted him as a child
Right.
in alternate life.
Right.
So I did notice that the badger was not in the display case.
Oh, me too. I totally looked for that. Well,
it's a bar now.
I totally looked for that.
And then Anna looked like Sandra Bullock at the beginning of Miss Congeniality.
Yes.
She was so frumpy.
Yes. That was funny. The only thing that I hated in that episode was whenever Ava kissed Jason. Like, as she did it, I was like, "Whoa, that's so gross."
It's so weird for how much they despise each other. But at the same time, that's how we got Avery was, Ava and Sonny. So,
But Ava and Sonny were one night of passion because of other things going on. It all happened in one little bubble of time. They didn't see each other the next day and start kissing or whatever.
right.
And so it seemed like Jason and Ava in the alternate reality were like a couple, and that was just ew. No, no, no.
Just so weird. Well, so my issue with Jason is his name's Jason Smith. However, in this reality, his name is not Jason Corinthos, so why is it Jason Smith? Because if he had still gone through the accident and changed his last name, he probably would have still picked Morgan, which is Lila's maiden name, and that's why he picked it.
Yeah, I don't know why they changed that.
So, I mean, are we to assume that Frank Smith? Or are we to assume that Jason's not a Quartermain, I guess? Did they talk about that at all?
No, because whenever Carly was talking about Michael having to move away, she said to Jason, "You should be concerned about protecting your nephew."
Yep, so he was still a Quartermain.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, my train of thought is correct.
Yes, exactly. He still should have picked Morgan.
But overall, I mean, I think this was my favorite flashback episode.
Mhm. No, I loved it. I loved how it made sense, but everyone was completely different than how they normally are. Seeing Dante as the bad guy, that was funny.
Oh, yeah. But then also, and this is where I feel like we are coming to the end of Mike, because it kind of showed an earlier Mike and Sonny relationship.
Yes.
So, yeah.
No, it was good. I think it made sense for where we are with the Mike storyline, and it was just a fun episode.
And Maurice got to bring in his real life.
I don't know that I liked that, to be honest. I don't know if he had not enough time to set it, or if he was just trying to be as minimalistic as possible, but I would have liked to seen a different room in his house, or something that was a little more of his personality.
What do you mean?
Because he was just standing in that one room of his house. There was nothing in it. There was nothing there. It was just the wall and the windows.
But they had the pictures of his girls.
No, no, no. I mean, whenever he introduced it.
Oh, no. I meant that whole episode got to, it brought in not just Sonny, but also Maurice.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you meant just the beginning part, like, because he actually introduced it. And I didn't like that. It didn't have enough of his personality, I didn't feel like.
It was probably also for lighting.
Probably.
And as you get through his book, the way that he describes his house, my gosh, they could have spent an hour of him just giving a tour of that. It sounds absolutely gorgeous, but
I don't know. I don't know what else to talk about it.
that just means that it's time for
reality check.
I didn't really have any type of reality check. I tried Walmart pickup grocery shopping for the first time ever, and it was super successful. So now I think I'm never shopping for real again because it was just way too easy.
How far ahead did you have to order your stuff?
It was 9 days this time. But then yesterday, I had thought of some stuff that just were running out of stuff already, and stuff that the kids complained that I hadn't picked up. And so I was able to get a spot for tomorrow at a different Walmart that I guess someone must have canceled. So
Nice.
yeah, you got to just kind of play on it. I just check at random times. So, but anyway, it was super successful. So I will definitely be using that even whenever the world opens up again. I feel like it saved me money too, because anytime that you take the kids into a store, it costs more than what you planned on spending. So
Anytime I go into a store, it costs more than.
true, exactly. So although I did have to laugh, my sister's been ordering from Target, and she keeps talking about how it's just like regular Target shopping because they'll ship in one big package if you want, or they'll split it up. And so every day she gets a new package from Target. So it's just like going there and every day picking up something new that you don't really need, but you felt like you did need. So my Walmart shopping was definitely cheaper than her Target shopping.
So Amazon did that to me this week. My aunt in Massachusetts was not feeling well, not COVID, but just was not feeling well.
Uh-huh.
And I was on Amazon and they recommended a serial killer coloring book. And I was like, I need to send this to Erica. And it arrived yesterday. So FYI, they make serial killer coloring books.
Nice. Is it sad that I know a couple people that would like that?
Well, the first thing she asked me was if I ordered myself one. Oh, I'm sorry, were you done? I guess that could be my reality check too.
No, I mean, that was pretty much mine. Nothing else.
Oh, that's also your life skill that you learned this week.
Oh, there you go. I'll take that as a life skill.
Did you learn another one?
No, not really.
It was supposed to be your week.
Yeah, I don't know. Madeline pointed out this week that I need to make up a will and decide who's going to have custody of them, because she announced that if everyone she knows in immediate family dies at the same time, that you get custody of them. So that was
I
exciting.
thought that was so sweet. I told JD and he's like, aw. Oh, that's so happy. Other people's kids want to be mine.
Did he say, why is Amanda's 7-year-old so morbid that she's planning on her death?
You know, he didn't.
No, the best part of that story was actually what she said was, if I went to jail or died and no one else could take them, that then you would get them. And I wanted to ask her what I was going to go to jail for, but I didn't know if I would like her answer, so I didn't go there.
You got to figure that one out, though. You have to find out the answer.
It might be killing someone. I don't know that that's a good idea.
And then we can add you to the serial killer book.
Yes. Oh, I'll be famous on so many fronts.
Full circle.
But yeah, it was a boring week. That was it.
Yeah, so I finished-ish my garden. I put together my greenhouse finally. I think I talked about this. Like, I had been planning on getting back to my vegetable garden since we bought our house in 2014, and I used to do vegetable gardens and full flower beds and everything, and I've just really struggled with our dirt. So our backyard used to have, before we moved in, and years before we even bought it, there was like 12 pine trees in our backyard. So the ground is super acidic, and I have tried I've tried lime, I've tested it, stuff like that. There's just no balancing it. So I was like, next year, we're really going to redo the gardens and everything. And sure enough, this year we're in a pandemic, so everyone's ordering gardening supplies. And the one time in my life I procrastinate. So I I got the greenhouse put up and got a lot of my
really nice.
Thank you. Well, it's outside now.
Good job. Yes, when I saw the picture, it was in your living room, but good job.
Yes. And yeah, so I started most of my vegetables, and a lot of flowers. So hopefully it all works.
I have no gardening skills, so I'm jealous.
And I'm making my son's birthday cake for tomorrow. So I'm kind of thankful for a pandemic, because I have a lot of time to make a cake from scratch. And I made fondant for the first time.
Wow.
How that goes.
I can't wait to see a picture of this cake now.
I am really excited. It's going to be a Stranger Things cake.
Oh, cute.
Yep. So I am super excited about it.
We're not going to get into
reality
being old.
Huh?
So we're not going to get into your kid being old, so.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm like, and next week's reality check is tomorrow, the day that this releases, I have raised an adult.
Yeah. Ugh. Don't think you're done, because you're never done.
Oh, I know, because it has terrified me. Well, just thinking about the fact that, like, I was paying bills and living on my own at his age.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm glad that
That's
I've
crazy.
given him a life that he doesn't want to get away from.
Right.
But at the same time, I mean, he does do a lot of stuff. Oh, and I bought a cookbook for the kids on Amazon. They each made a full dinner this week themselves, and they're going to have to every week from now on. And my son made meatloaf and my daughter made lasagna. It was good.
I love that idea.
And the recipes really are easy. And there's sections in the beginning of it that shows them, the different cutting styles, what each measurement means, things like that. Mm-hmm. So it's a good book.
Awesome.
It's How to Cook for Teens, I think that was the name of it. But it's on Amazon, like everything else in the world. But yeah, that's all that I have.
Yeah, that's it. I was boring this week.
So join us on Thursday as we talk about Holly Sutton, who supposedly died last week.
I don't like how that's going to run into Have a Good Week.
It just has to.
Okay. So have a good week.
And we'll meet you at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to pier54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review. And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Pier 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at peer54podcast@gmail.com.